King James Prophecy Part 2. Some 6 years after LeBron came back from 3-1 on June the 19th of 2016 on the real birthday of King James. Born June the 19th of 1566, the 6th King of Scotland. Number 6. 6 years later, 2022, LeBron is chasing Michael Jordan. In 1603, he succeeded the last Tudor monarch of England and Ireland, Elizabeth, who died childless. He continued to reign in all three kingdoms for 22 years until his death. This is why LeBron is going to beat the Nets in Game 7 of the 2022 NBA Finals. Game 7 is going to occur on the real birthday of King James. That's June the 19th of 2022. That's June the 19th of 2016 when he came back from 3-1 with the Cavaliers. The real King James was born in the year 66. LeBron has got Gematria 66 Lakers and Bulls and Coronas Gematria 66. The real name of the real King James, James Charles Stewart, has Gematria 213. Now, someone pointed out that 213 was the LA area code. LeBron wins 2 with the Heat, 1 with the Cavs, and 3 with the Lakers. That is the meaning of the full name of James Charles Stewart. James Charles Stewart has Gematria 60. As I've said before, LeBron's going to tie Michael Jordan 60 years after his birth. Michael Jordan would be 60 years of age. Michael Jordan 6-0 in the NBA Finals. And the newborn King resurrected King LeBron from his playoff loss against the Suns. Jesus is the Son of God. That has meaning as well when we talk about all of this. King James Prophecy 2.0 is over at Los Angeles, California, which has the same gematria as King James. Game 7, coronate King James against the Nets. Game 7 also has gematria of Los Angeles. The 2010 NBA Finals, Game 7 at that time. It's going to be a Game 7 again for LeBron's 5th ring, sort of like Kobe's 5th ring. He died in the year 25. LA Lakers, James the 6th, Roman numerals. The 6th King of Scotland, Scotland's gematria 25, California's gematria of 88. He succeeded to the Scottish throne at the age of 13 months. LA's gematria 13, Game 7's on a 13-day numerology, June 19 of 2022. He took the throne at 13 years of age. It's all written by the numbers. It's all part of the script. He was even coordinated on the 25th day. His predecessor was Elizabeth the First. Elizabeth as gematria of California and Scotland. At 57 years, 246 days, close to 58 years, James' reign in Scotland was the longest of any Scottish monarch. So that rounds up to 58. Los Angeles Lakers has got gematria 58. Same gematria as Nets. This is all happening against Brooklyn. This King James prophecy is very clear. It ties into Kobe Bryant in a very big way. And lastly, he was born on June the 19th, the same day as Game 7 next year, the same day as Game 7 back in 2016. That would be 72 months later. We would just conclude a 72-game regular season. You know, LeBron's going to be the greatest NBA player. It's clear as day that he's going to do the same thing 72 months later. But we really need to go take a look at the birthday of LeBron to Game 7 in 2022, June the 19th. LeBron 19 sneaker we talked about. 172 days. I talked about this in my Gematria Sports and World History video. This is 25 weeks later. This is the Gematria of King James when he was born. 172 days later. This is Gematria of greatest player, if I'm not mistaken. Greatest player is Gematria 172. And this is a date numerology of 67. Why 67 for June the 19th? He was a king of Scotland in the year 67. It all began in the year 67. This is why the NBA Finals ends on a date numerology of 67. He died when he was 58 years of age. Los Angeles Lakers Nets. We know their script. It's going to be 4-3 for the Lakers over the Brooklyn Nets. It's happening. Lakers will be champions. LeBron is the GOAT. LeBron will be down 2-3. He's going to come back. The GOAT, King LeBron James, has Gematria. I like the number sequence of that. It's the same number sequence as James Charles Stewart. GOAT King James, a newborn king once again. Anything else we need to talk about here? Let's see if Charles, his successor, is the same Gematria as Bronny. Charles got Gematria 66 and 30. That's Gematria of Corona. That's Gematria of Crown. That's Gematria of LeBron. How about Bronny? I'll just end it right here.